Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. This was a Game Boy Advance that I was given that works, but it just won't read cartridges. So a little bit of an issue there. I've done a whole lot of testing on it, and I can only put it down to the cartridge slot being faulty, because the Game Boy Advance has a little switch piece in here that can determine whether you're putting in a Game Boy Advance cart or a Game Boy cart. So what I've gone and done, and I've ordered a new cartridge slot from AliExpress with the new switch in it. So what we'll do is I'll quickly show you what it's doing first, and then we'll get stuck into changing over this cart slot. Right, so what I've done is I've got the benchtop power supply on, 3 volts, and then if you switch it on, you'll see that it goes. That goes fine, everything's working, sound, screen. And then if we get a cartridge and slot it in, same thing, the Nintendo doesn't come up. And it doesn't seem to sit properly either in the slot. It doesn't really go down properly, and it happens with every cartridge I've tried in it, which is a bit strange. So I think there must be either a bent pin or something like that. It just doesn't want to go, doesn't want to work. So let's rip this cartridge off and then put the new one on. Right, so now's going to be the fun part. I've got to desolder all of these points here. This one looks like it's had a little bit of work done down on the earphone jack as well. There's a little jumper wire. Obviously that's a little bit of corrosion on it, but it's working fine. So yeah, I'll get my little desoldering tool and we'll start trying to get rid of all of these little bits of solder here. Alright, now that was a mission. Took a while to get the old one off. We had a few little hiccups. It lifted up a trace on one of the legs, but I managed to get that back down. But yeah, they're pretty intense how they're stuck on there, but I've managed to get it all back on, got the new one soldered on, and I'll just clean all that up with a bit of isopropyl alcohol, and then we'll put it together and test it and see if it works. Right, now let's pop the screen back on, like so. That. Let's put the voltage back on. Let's turn the benchtop power supply on. Right, for a start, let's see if it actually turns on. Ah, yes. Excellent. Now, the big test. Let's see. We can now read cartridges. Yes, it's got the Nintendo across the bottom. Awesome. Look at that, it's good to go. Right, now that we know this is all working, what we'll do is we will turn this off. I've got this little case here. I can pop it in. It's an aftermarket case, little sort of a clear orange one. We'll pop it in there. We'll see what it looks like. Right, one thing we are going to need to do with this one is we're going to need to grab the little sticky piece that sits in here for the screen, which I've pulled out of an old case, this bit here. So we'll pop that in, and then we will pop the screen in. Right, now that we've got the screen in place and stuck in there, then do the buttons. Now this one's going to be chromed out, so yeah, the buttons just go in there. They can only go one way. It's the B button. Yeah. A button. I got these pieces as well. Put our rubber's on. Don't forget this little piece here that goes here for the LED, like so. And we've got these little buttons as well. I find sometimes with the aftermarket shells, these pieces are a bit too long. So you sometimes have to just remove them and actually get them out of an old original case. I'll just see what I've got. Right, I've got a couple of original buttons. These are pretty worn and on a different colour, but you can clearly see that they are shorter than the ones that come with the aftermarket shells. So the best thing to do is actually just remove them and swap them over. They just slide straight in and they will fit way better. So I'll swap those over, get the buttons in, and then we'll look at putting the motherboard in place. Alright, I've left these two top ones out. They keep falling out, so I think it's just easier just to put them in once we've got the board in place. And I've just set my little solder there just so I can take the pressure off the buttons. So all we do now is we just hook up the screen to here, get that in place and push the little tabs down. And then we need to try and get all this lined up. There. Oops, forgot to put the speaker underneath, didn't I? It's handy. That actually needs to go underneath. It's twisted. These can be fiddly, these things. These shells, but yeah. Right, speakers in. Let's get this in place now. There we go. It's all in place. Speakers in place. Right, and all we've got to do is pop in a couple of screws, one there, and should be one over this side somewhere, one over here. So I'll pop those in now. Right, now that that's done, we can put all this together. So all these bits just keep falling off as well, which is a bit annoying. Let's put the side pieces in. These bits. See what I mean? They just keep falling out. They don't want to stay in. And the power switch, don't forget that. Goes that way. Done. And once that's all in, the back goes on. And this is the tricky part, is making sure these buttons stay in place. Getting everything lined up. Stay in there, stay in there. Here we go. Got it. Cool. So now that's in place, we'll put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws and button all that up. Right, now that that's all screwed together, what we'll do is we will give this screen a quick little clean. Like so. And sure there's no dust in there. We'll grab a little replacement screen. Put it in there. That, we'll leave that protective cover on it for now. And we have also got a replacement label to go here. That didn't go on very well. Let's just lift that up if we can. No, I don't think we can. Oh well, it's going to stay like that. There we go. It's okay. Cool, that's done, that's done. Seems to be working all right. What we'll do is we'll peel this off. There we go, look at that. See if we can. It's got a little bubble there. Seems to have another protective layer on top of this. Double protected. There we go. Oh, look at that. Beautiful. Right, grab a couple of batteries. Pop them in. That cover on. Like so. Grab our game. Slot them in. Fingers crossed. Hey, look at that. Super Mario. That's working fine. I'm happy with that. There you go. So that's repairing or replacing a cartridge slot in one of these. Which, yeah, it was a bit of a mission, but we've got a nice working one. Another one for the collection. Yeah, it's different too with the chrome bits on it. But yeah, all good. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos, subscribe to my videos. I'll be dropping a video every week. And we'll see you in the next one.